Hello folks, this is Uncle Jimmy with Jimmy's Train Station and Travel Adventures, and today me and my family are going to Animal Kingdom. That's right, Animal Kingdom. So follow us on this adventure as we enjoy the day at Animal Kingdom. And this is Uncle Jimmy with Jimmy's Train Station and Travel Adventures. If you're watching this, please subscribe. Follow us on this adventure. And so up ahead's a tree of life. It's got animals carved all out through the tree. Get some sights and sounds here and just have a look around. And look at our map, see where we want to go first.
Did we just take all those pictures with our mask on?
Yes, everyone. But you know,
It's got all kinds of animals carved into it. Right here in front, there's an elephant. So follow us on this adventure. So different parts of Animal Kingdom is divided into continents. We're in Asia, and we're getting ready to do the River Rapids, which is a fun wet ride. So follow us.
Right this way on the left side. Enjoy the ride. Have a great time.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Right this way, folks.
Deep into the jungle. When this happens, the traditional life of village and forest is destroyed forever.
Hi guys, welcome. Keep your backpacks in front of you, please. Welcome everyone.
Thank you. So it's called Holly Rapids Expeditions. Put my map in my pocket so it don't get wet.
Oh hell, you go down.
Or
Awesome. Well, you can grab 10 to the left, please. Grab number 10.
How many here guys?
Four.
Four, perfect. If you go down the right side. Watch your step. So awesome.
Abby, Ford, come here.
Hi there, friends. Over here, final seating check. So once you're seated, please get comfortable after.
Oh man.
Pretty's in my way.
Where's the best place to put your dog?
Epi, I cannot possibly do this if you took mine. Epi, you took mine.
Then where's mine?
Hey, it's her seatbelt's right. No, that's hers.
Where's mine?
Stand up.
Right there.
That's yours.
Alright, friends, if you're buckled in, please start to pull the ends of your seatbelt.
Okay. Sorry about the shaking. I had to get my seatbelt on.
Oh, we're gonna get wet.
Hello, my friends.
To be really
Make
fun.
sure your expedition is a safe one. Stay seated with your seatbelt fastened, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the raft. And be sure to watch your children. May you have a memorable and exciting journey. Hola mis amigos, para su seguridad permanezcan sentados con el cinturón bien ajustado. Mantengan las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro de la
Oh,
pauta.
I just realized we're going backwards. Ah, frick. Yes.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Oh,
We're
yes.
gonna go up
Oh,
backwards?
Yes, yes, yes.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Ooh.
We will see if we're going backwards or not.
We are going to go back. We're off. Oh, 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 God. Oh, we're not out of Okay, no higher than that. It's fine. It's soaked. We're gonna get so wet. Hold on to that camera tight. It's literally gonna fling itself. I don't know.
Here we go.
Straight down. Hang on.
It's not straight down.
Oh, dude, don't scare me like that.
Well, I thought it was like that. It's scary. I thought it was gonna go real fast now. I like more. I like the scared. You scared you more? Oh, there's a big hill.
I'm fine with that.
It's gonna be bigger. Oh no, this is the rapids part.
Here comes the rapids.
Yay! I thought it was gonna go.
We'll get wet here.
Time to just wait. Oh. Beaver! Beaver! No way! No way! Ah! Oh god! Ow! You can't say things like that. Ow! Oh god! Hopefully there's no huge drops. Probably is. Probably gonna go backwards.
Here we go. Big splash there. Really wet ride. Good thing my camera's waterproof.
I knew it was going to drop somewhere. I was like, there's no way.
That was a big old drop. No, shut it! No way! No way! Oh my god, you thought I know you got it!
Oh yeah! Oh no! Getting a little wet here.
Jeez! It's crazy! Please don't tell me there's another drop. Go on! No, that's the end of it.
I knew there was going to be a drop somewhere. It had to.
You scared me because I was backwards on it! We went backwards!
That's basically the ride. Thanks for joining us and continue following us on this adventure. We got an island of monkeys over here. There's one sitting in the window over there. I don't know if you can see him. We'll wait and see if one comes out here. One might come out here directly. Probably all going inside where it's nice and cool.
I saw at least 2 of them.
Yep, I guess they're going to stay inside where it's nice and cool.
Get in and
So follow us and we'll find the next ride. So me and my daughter, I'm sorry, my wife don't do these rides. Me and my daughter are going to do Mount Everest expedition.
Welcome in, my friends.
Thank you.
To the doorway.
So we're doing an expedition to Everest.
She had to go get her mask.
Lost my daughter there for a minute. She had to go get her mask.
I told you I need to go get my mask and you ran off.
I'm going to see the Yeti.
look at that monkey.
That's the Yeti.
Why do you look like a monkey?
Mask here.
Have fun, friends.
This one has a camera.
There's the Yeti footprint.
Expedition Everest team members should proceed to the loading platform. Once on board, please take your seat immediately. Pull down the restraint. For your safety, remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside. And please,
Won't be long, we'll be boarding. Lucky number 13. Guess we're not going on 13. We're on 4.
We'll be on the one after.
2 more to go before we get on. 1 before us.
attention Expedition Everest team members.
We will be next.
Secure all gear in the cargo bag in front of you. For your safety, remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the plane. Please, miembros del equipo de expedición Everest, una vez a bordo, coloquen sus efectos personales en la bolsa delante de la silla para su seguridad. Permanezcan sentados con las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y por favor, cuide a los niños.
Here comes our carriage.
Attention Expedition Everest team members. Once on board, secure all gear in the cargo bag in front of you. For your safety, remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside. And please supervise children. Miembros del equipo de expedición Everest, una
Can't get it anymore.
Permanezcan sentados
It's
con
long.
las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y por favor, cuide a los niños.
Here we go. Up we go. Here we go. Get in. Coming. Here we go. Whoa! Can't even see.
I see your camera light.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Eddie. Everest around there. There's Donald Duck, Daisy Duck, and Uncle Scrooge Duck.
For the safety and health of everyone, masks, covering your mouth and nose are required when indoors. Wash your hands often, and cover your mouth and nose.
So we'll go down to Africa and do the safari next, so join us as we continue. Gibbons. We can get them to swing around here so you can see them. Here they come. Later. Keep trying to get them to come around so you can see them. They keep going to the other side.
Gibbons can swim. Yeah, apes and monkeys are
See if we can catch them over here on this side, possibly. Get a better view of them here. I'll show you a little bit of the show. It's called Up, Birds in Flight. We decided to watch.
Look at him flying in nice and slow. Pretty cool bird, right? So the thing is, if you point your camera in this direction, you get some really cool footage of him when he starts flying around. But I also want you to listen to what he sounds like in flight. He hardly will make any noise.
Oh my god!
I felt the wind off there.
Yeah, very cool. So picture how this works, right? That's pretty advantageous because if he sits in the tree just like he's doing right now, waiting until the animal gets closer to him, then when he spots that animal, he can use that silent flight to swoop down out of the tree, and the animal that's below him never even knew there was an owl up above. It's a very, very unique adaptation to help him out. But on top of that, he has the ability to turn that head around pretty far too, right? He's kind of demonstrating a little bit of that. He can go about 3/4 the way to each side. So 3/4 left, 3/4 right. Not many animals out there can do that. Only our parents, right, kids? Yeah. Okay. So Ollie, you're doing a great job, buddy. I tell you what. There you go. Nice long flight. Also, you haven't noticed already, he has those beautiful eyes, right? Those eyes are going to help him see and reduce lighting, so he sees by starlight and moonlight better than most of the animals in the nighttime sky. And he also has some of the best hearing in the animal kingdom. I mean, total package when it comes to a nighttime predator. Ollie, you did great, buddy. We'll see you later. Ollie, the Milky Eagle Owl.
Okay, chickens are safe. I missed the little owl.
Hey, you caught the tail end. Thank you.
Anyway, did you at least tell them all the cool things about owls?
Well, we talked a lot about owls. I didn't mention my favorite fact, however. It's pretty cool. They're beneficial because they eat rodents, right? So an owl that size by himself getting close to 1,000 mice in a single year.
Yeah, we like owling around too, because we had a rat problem not too long ago.
I think we're supposed to talk about that.
Look.
Oh, you heard about this? Okay.
See the rat?
Somebody told me.
Look. Little rats going around the circle there.
Disappear.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned rats, people just start screaming anymore. I know, it's terrible. They're all over the place. You put the lights on, it'd be like a moving carpet.
Yeah, that's pretty bad for a while.
Owls are number one, yes, absolutely. See, it's not a problem. The rat problem's behind us now. We're really excited about it.
Thing of the past.
You know, I don't know why we're talking about rats. So we've had a lot of birds that are flying around, but we haven't talked too much about how we train these birds, why they don't suddenly just fly out of the park and end up on the castle of Magic Kingdom. But here's the thing, I've been doing some training with Denver, called Raven. How about we bring them out? I can do some of this training. You can talk about how we train all the birds. They get to see a little behind the scenes.
Yeah, that could be fun. You guys want to see a behind the scenes training session?
It's gonna be great.
Okay, so let's talk either with Denver before we start. Notice he's giving Denver some treats, right? That lets Denver know whatever he did before he got the treat. If he does it again, he'll get another treat. See, that's the way we communicate with all the birds while they're out here. They learn through that positive reinforcement relationship. So it's a lot of information sharing that we can do. We just gave him a treat for untying my shoe.
No, stay here. Treats for staying right here.
Okay, well, the cool thing is you can help them learning a behavior because they start doing it over and over again, right? They get better at it. Corey.
Hey, Scott, your shoe's untied. You should be careful.
What's going on?
You taught
I wanted to show you a little bit of the birds in flight there. So continue to follow us on this adventure. So we're in the Africa part of the park. I want to give a shout out to a buddy of mine who's from Africa. His name's Ali. He's from Sudan. I work with him. Really good guy. So we're looking around, looking at all the sights. Might have to try me some African food. Sounds really good. So I got a train ride here, and we're looking for a safari ride. So follow us on this adventure. Taking a train from Harambee over to another section of Africa. After this, we'll head to the safari and ride it.
Greetings, friends, and welcome aboard the Wildlife Express. For a safe journey, remember to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Sit all the way back against the bench, and please be sure to watch your children. Asante.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Wildlife Express. Para que tengan un viaje seguro, manténganse sentados, con las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Siéntense hasta atrás, pegados al respaldo de la banca.
And away we go.
Vigilen a los niños. Gracias.
Star Railways is pleased to welcome you aboard the Wildlife Express train, now in non-stop service to Conservation Station Rafiki Planet Lodge. Please sit all the way back on the benches. Please sit all the way back on the benches. Do not lean forward towards the front of the car. Por favor, permanezcan sentados.
Welcome aboard the Wildlife Express. Service to Rafiki's Planet Lodge. Here, you'll discover a wide range of animal adventures, from the affection section, where you can get up close and personal with domesticated animals like goats, sheep, and more, to sneak peeks at animal care in action at our veterinary, nutrition, and science centers. Also, be sure to check out the animation experience at Conservation Station, where you can learn to draw your favorite Disney characters inspired by live animals from one of our animators. The tradition of animals and animation reaches all the way back to Walt Disney himself and his long-standing passion for conservation. He believed it was important that we protect our wildlife and preserve our natural world. This sense of motivation shaped his legacy, from animation to conservation, to the very adventures we offer here at Disney's Animal Kingdom each and every day. As we make our way to Rafiki's Planet Watch, keep an eye out for some of the exciting wildlife we might encounter along the way, and the highly trained specialists who care for them. From ostriches and rhinos to the mighty African elephant, the species we care for here at Disney's Animal Kingdom are some of the very same animals that inspired animated classics like The Lion King, The Jungle Book, and more. Did you know Bambi was the first animated feature to bring live animals into
against the harmful sun UV rays. It's kind of like their homemade sunscreen. It goes to show how smart these African elephants are. So they can make their own sunscreen. How cool is that? And then while we're on the topic of the African elephant, we have some red clay walls over here on the right hand side and some here on the left. This is actually pretty important for the African elephant. And here's a good example. If you look over here to the right hand side, we can actually see some tusk markings that were engraved into the clay walls. That's also a pretty good sign that we might be able to find some more African elephants nearby, so try to keep an eye out. African elephants actually like to stick their tusks inside of the clay to be able to scrape and gather the clay out. Now the reason they actually like to do this is to be able to eat the clay. Now trust me, they're not trying to eat this clay because it tastes good. This red clay is absolutely disgusting. One of the worst tasting things in the world. Just, you know, don't ask me how I know that. Now, the only reason they're actually eating this clay is simply because it's very nutritious for them. It has a bunch of vitamins and minerals inside that keep them healthy and alive that they're not able to receive in their normal diet, just like salt. So whenever it comes to us humans, whenever we start to feel a little malnourished, we don't have enough vitamins and minerals in our body, we like to take some multivitamins, or if we're younger, we'll take some Flintstone gummies, which by the way, it's okay if you're older and have Flintstone gummies, they're nutritious and delicious. But these African elephants will pretty much do the same exact thing as us, but instead of eating those Flintstone gummies, they're just going to go ahead and eat some clay. Now also, as I make this turn, we're actually going to see some more African elephants moving along over here. Seeing that these African elephants are all grouped up together gives me a better idea that these are most likely females. Female African elephants like to group up with their friends, they love to chit-chat, have a good old time, gossip, hang out. While the males like to stay off by themselves. So the first African elephant we saw was most likely a male, and the ones that we see now are most likely females. Also, if you look on their backs, you can see how it turns to a lighter shade of color. That's from that sand and dirt I was talking about. And then also, if you look over here to the left-hand side, we will be able to see some greater flamingos. That's right, these are greater flamingos. A group of flamingos is called the flamboyant, so this is a fairly large flamboyance here. And then also, a little secret not a lot of people like to point out, is the island where the flamboyance is on right now is a pretty big hidden Mickey. Oh, okay. Now, two things stand out when we compare the greater flamingos to the other types of flamingos in the world. First is their size. They are the largest of all the flamingos, and they also have the lightest shade of pink in their feathers. They get that really nice light shade of pink from the food they eat. They love to eat shrimp. And in the shrimp, there's a protein called beta-carotene. That's what gives them that really nice light pink color. So if they were to ever stop eating shrimp and stop receiving that protein, over time, the color in their feathers would slowly start to fade away, returning back to their natural white and then gray color that they were born with. So these greater flamingos aren't actually born pink, but they're born gray instead. And then look at that. If we look over to the left-hand side, we will be able to see a white rhinoceros. That's right, that's a white rhino over there. Looks like it's just resting out right now, hanging out in the shade. These white rhinos are huge. They weigh about 5,000 pounds, just about 2,000 pounds heavier on average than the black rhinos. They're also more social than the black rhinos. White rhinos like to hang out with their friends, they like to chit-chat, have a good old time with any other animals, including white rhinos. Whereas the black rhinos are very territorial, so they like to just be by themselves. And if you look, we can see little baby Ranger. Hello, Ranger, how are you today? Looks like he's sleeping with his dad, Dugan, right now, kind of resting out. Look how cute he is. Did you know that Ranger is actually the cutest animal in the world? That's a fact, by the way, and it's also not up for debate. Sorry. And also, try to keep an eye out over here to the left because it's kind of hard to see. But if you look over to the left-hand side, you will be able to see a cheetah hanging out over there, resting underneath those trees right now. They're actually pretty good at hiding in these locations right now. Their camouflage is actually pretty decent. Let's try to see if we can find some more cheetahs. Cheetahs are actually the fastest land animal in the world. They can reach up to a top speed of 60 miles an hour in just about 3 seconds. That's a lot faster than most cars and trucks we see on the road today. I'll tell you what, it's a lot faster than the truck we're in right now. This bad boy only goes about 8 miles an hour. Now, if we compare the cheetahs to the cars and trucks that we see today, we can see that these cheetahs can't stay at that speed of 60 miles an hour forever like the cars and trucks. Cars and trucks just stay at a speed of 60 miles an hour.
On the hill there, got a couple cheetah laying.
For a very long time. They don't have to worry about slowing down unless there's any cops nearby. Versus the cheetahs are eventually going to start to slow down just because they get tired. They can't run at that speed forever, but they still can keep it up for about the distance of 3 to 4 football fields. So it still goes to show how good their stamina and endurance is. Now, still try to keep an eye out over here on the bushes to the right of us. Some rhinos like to sleep over here. Try to look on top of the hills over here to the left as well. Some animals like to get up on top, try to get a better vantage point. Also, I actually can see some more white rhinos. If we look over to the right, we can see another white rhino. We can also see my best friend Sebastian hanging out there too. He's just resting out. He's a bone tabak. He loves to just hang out there on the road. That's his favorite spot. No one bothers him because he's the boss. And then also, that was a pretty good example of me saying earlier about how these white rhinos are very social. Shows that he could just hang out with Sebastian the bone tabak. Not only because, you know, Sebastian's very friendly, but also so are these white rhinos. And then look at this. If we look over to the left-hand side, we will be able to see some warthogs. Look at that. There's actually 2 of them. Try to keep an eye out because there could be some more sleeping inside these dens over here that they created on the ground too, over here on the left. So warthogs have 2 sets of tusks. One of them is used for eating and the other one is used for defending themselves and creating these little dens that we see right now. And whenever they sleep inside the dens, they actually like to sleep with their tusks facing outwards. The reason they do that is to help defend themselves from any animals that might try to attack them in their sleep. Look at that, we can actually see some ostriches over there on the left-hand side too. And then as I make this turn as well, if you look on the ground to the right, you can actually see some real ostrich eggs too. Look at that.
Right there on the ground.
Oh, and then also in the back, there's also another animal there. There's a water buck hanging out in the back too. But that's right, those are some real ostrich eggs over there. They're not rocks that have been painted. They're not onions or anything, they're real. Ostrich eggs are huge, which makes sense. Ostriches are the largest bird in the world, so they're gonna have some pretty large eggs too. On average, one normal sized ostrich egg weighs about 3 pounds. And then on the inside, the yolk is about equivalent to a dozen normal sized eggs.
Smiling.
Hello ladies. Look at all these ostriches. I love the ostriches, they're pretty cool. But they're also kind of scary at the same time, so I like to just slowly pass by them. It's like when they stare at you, they stare into your soul. It's kind of creepy.
So we're taking the safari ride now on the safari. So sit back and join us on this adventure.
Let's go! Jumbo everyone, my name is Charles and I'm going to be your safari driver for today. As a quick reminder, please make sure we're all staying seated, keeping our hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Now above your head is a quick animal spotting guide that's going to give you a pretty good reference of some of the animals that we may or may not see later on the safari. The reason I say may or may not is because the animals tend to migrate at different times and they also sleep at different times of the day too. So we might not be able to see all of them, but we can cross our fingers and hope for the best. Alright, Twende, let's go. And enter into the first part of our reserve, which is the Little Ituri Forest. Here we're going to find a bunch of animals that love to stay hidden behind the trees and behind the bushes here. They are very shy, so let's make sure we're all keeping an eye out because they could be hidden right in front of us. Now I do see an animal all the way over to the right hand side. That guy over there is called an Okabe. Now the Okabe has that really nice dark brown coat on top and then it has those black and white zebra striped party pants going down its legs. Now I did say zebra stripe because they do look like zebra stripes, which also makes you think, oh, this animal has to be related to a zebra, right? Not really. The Okabe isn't related to a zebra at all, but it is a close relative to the giraffe. Now we know that by looking at the Okabe and giraffe skull structure, as well as looking at that very long tongue that both of these animals have too. And then if you look over to the left-hand side, we have that really pretty bird walking right now by the water. It's called a saddle-billed stork. There's actually another one on top of the hill towards our right side. Saddle-billed stork gets that name from that yellow marking that it has on its bill, which kind of looks like a saddle. Same saddle we would use to ride on larger animals. And speaking of larger animals, if you look over to the left-hand side, we will be able to see my friend Badru, the black rhinoceros. Now look how large he is. He is huge. On average, these black rhinos weigh about 3,000 pounds. They're pretty tough too. Their skin is just about an inch thick, so not a lot of animals can do any harm to them, which is why they have no natural predator. If you look over to the left again, you can see Bomani, the other black rhino, hanging out, just resting out in the shade, trying to relax. Oh, yeah. Now keep an eye out because I do see another animal coming up next to us on the right-hand side on top of that hill there. Oh, there's actually another one here next to us. If we look over to the right, we can see that tan-colored animal. That lovely lady there is a greater kudu. That is a female greater kudu too. I know that because she doesn't have any horns. And then up on top of the hill towards the right-hand side, we do see those animals there too. Those are called bongos. Now I love the bongos. They are so very sweet. but they're also very shy too. They actually get the nickname the ghost of the forest because of how shy they are, because they're always trying to stay hidden, kind of acting like ghosts. Oh, that's right, there's a human in front of us. That's the warden over there. We'll probably see some more wardens hanging out. But that was the Turi Forest, and now we're going to be entering into the next part of our reserve, which is called the Safi River. In the Safi River, we're going to find a bunch of animals that love to be in the water, by the water, next to the water. So honestly, let's all just look near the water, and we'll most likely find an animal nearby. So let's see. Try to keep it, try to look out for any rippling in the water. That's always a pretty good indication that there might be something moving along underneath. Try to always look for that too. Oh, like right now, if you look over to the right-hand side, we will be able to see a Nile Hippopotamus. Look at that.
Whoa, I've never seen that.
Now these hippos are huge. They weigh about 5,500 pounds. They're pretty large at birth too. They weigh about 85 pounds, which is about the same amount of weight and food that a hippo eats per day. And speaking of baby hippo, let's all try to keep an eye out because there was a new baby hippo that was born a couple of weeks ago. So let's try to look out for her. Her name is Greta, and she is so cute. Also, we have these white and gray birds here next to me on the left-hand side. They're called pink Back Pelicans. They get that name from their backs and the other side of their wings that turn a really nice pink color when their mating season is coming around. But once that mating season is over, that color ends up going away. Now actually, if you look directly under us to the left-hand side, there's actually another Nile Hippopotamus moving along underneath. And you can actually see that that hippo is not actually swimming, but it's actually just walking or running underneath. And that's just because they're so fat, they sink all the way down to the bottom. Kind of like a rock. Like I said, that's just because they're so heavy. They weigh about 5,500 pounds. And look at that. If we look to the left-hand side, we will be able to see the mama and baby Greta. Look how cute she is. Oh my goodness, I love her so much. She's like a cute little booger. I love her. She is so adorable. She's hiding behind those trees right now, hanging out with her mama, sleeping right on her mom's head. How adorable is that? Goodbye, Greta. Oh, I love her. She's amazing. Oh, then look at that too. If we look over to the left-hand side, we will be able to see some Nile crocodiles. That's right, those are Nile crocodiles. The Nile crocodiles are super strong. They have about 3,000 pounds per square inch of force behind their jaws, which pretty much allow them to chomp down on practically anything. And when it comes to chomping down on food, they only really eat once a week, but when they do eat, their diet generally consists of just eating some fish. Now, that doesn't mean they're always going to eat some fish. Sometimes there's going to be some much larger animals that cross in front of the Nile crocodile, and when that happens, that crocodile isn't going to hesitate one bit to make that next larger animal its new cheat day meal. Now, looking at this big baobab tree that's coming up in front of us, it gives me a good idea that we're about to be entering into the savanna now. The savanna is actually the largest part of our reserve. The animals that live here on the savanna love to travel and migrate through here, and that's just because the land is very open and it's very wide. So the animals feel safe to travel through here.
Bumpy ride here.
Knowing that they feel safe to travel through here, we actually give the savanna the nickname Nature's Natural Highway. Because this land is kind of like a highway for them, which means they're going to be on the move, so make sure you have your cameras out and ready. I'm going to try my best to stop for these animals, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to try their best to stop for us. Now, if we look over to the left-hand side, we will be able to see a Maasai giraffe and our little baby Humphrey. Look how cute he is. Oh, he's so adorable. So on average, these Maasai giraffes get about 18 to 20 feet tall. They are massive, but you can see little baby Humphrey. He is so small, but surprisingly, he's about 7 feet tall right now. How crazy is that? Oh, and then also, if you look over to the right-hand side, we have these smaller animals next to us. They have those three colors to them. It's that very nice tan color, then black color, then white color. Kind of like a Neapolitan ice cream you would never eat. Those are called springboks, and they get that name because their legs are practically made out of springs. They're actually able to jump up 6 feet into the air without even having to try. And then when they're running, they could actually jump about 13 feet across. So those little legs are pretty powerful, and they're also pretty fast too. They're one of the top 10 fastest land animals in the world, reaching up to a top speed of 55 miles an hour. Now let's all look over to the left-hand side because we will be able to see some African painted dogs. Look at that. There's some African painted dogs there. And it looks like they have a new toy out too. I've never seen that before. But there's actually 6 of them. They're all brothers. Try to see if you can count all 6. They're also very cute, but they're never an animal you want to mess around with. These African painted dogs have an 80 to 90% success rate while hunting, so they almost always catch what they're looking for. So it's better to keep our social distance and keep on moving forward. Now also, if we look over to the left-hand side, we will be able to see those brown animals there with the very long but thin horns. Those are sable antelopes. And if you look over here to the left of us, we can see Dash dashing around. Oh, look at that, perfect. So that's our little baby Dash. He's about a month old now. He's pretty young, but he is a Hartman's mountain zebra. There's 3 different types of zebras in the world, but here on the reserve, we only have the Hartman's mountain zebra. And 2 ways we can tell that's a Hartman's mountain zebra is by one, looking at their bellies. They have a really nice white bellies, and the other type of zebras have their zebra stripes go underneath. And then they also have what's called a dewlap. Now a dewlap is a flap of skin that hangs underneath their neck to help regulate blood and keeping them cool throughout the entire day. See those springboks again over here on the right hand side, and then again if we look over to the right, we will see some more Maasai giraffes. There's actually another one laying down there. I think that's Zella. Let's see if you can find her sister Mabel hanging around. She's always nearby. But there was a little group of giraffes. A group of giraffes is called a tower, so that was a very small tower there. And then as we continue to move forward, we're actually going to be able to see some other animals too. So right as I start to make this left turn, make sure you're looking over to the right hand side, because we will be able to see a group of white bearded wildebeests. Look at that. Those are some white bearded wildebeests there. You can see they're all grouped up together because they love to hang out with their friends and family. It makes them feel a lot safer, so they're never really off by themselves. Oh, there's another Maasai giraffe over here to the right hand side as well. Hello, who is this? What is your name? Can't tell. But also, if you look behind the Maasai giraffes, you can see those horns kind of coming out from the bushes there. Those belong to the Ankole cattle. They're also known as the Watusi cattle because they were domesticated by the Watusi tribe many years ago. In fact, they were the first cattle to ever be domesticated by humans, so they've been around for a super long time. Look at that, we have some more Maasai giraffes over here, and it looks like they're both eating right now. And that's actually one thing that these Maasai giraffes love to do. They love to eat. They're actually constantly eating all day long, and if they're not eating, they're looking for something to eat, kind of like me. I'm always hungry. But they take things to the extreme to where they actually sacrifice their sleep for food. To where they actually get about only 30 minutes of sleep a day just because they're out looking for food. How crazy is that?
Should have been a giraffe. Well, why should have been a giraffe? He gets about 30 minutes of sleep.
Not me when I'm working.
I don't know how they do it. 7 hours. Of course, sleeping in my nice and comfy bed, cuddling with my dog. Also, to the left-hand side, we'll be able to see some mandrills. Those are the largest monkey in Africa, weighing about 100 pounds, which is nothing in comparison to the African elephant over here to the right-hand side. These African elephants are huge. They weigh about 8,000 to 14,000 pounds on average, so they are massive. Definitely the heaviest animal that we have here on the reserve. Let's try to see if we can get a better view of him over here. Now, like I said, these African elephants are huge. One way we can tell this is an African elephant is by one, looking at his ears. We can see his ears right now. We can see that he has very large ears, which are also kind of in the shape of Africa too. He loves to move his ears back and forth, kind of acting as fans to help keep himself cool and to also swat away any bugs that might be bothering him. Let's see if you'll show us your ears. Let me see your ears. Wave them. No? Alright, well, we tried. Second way we can tell that's an African elephant is by looking at their back, and you actually might have noticed it already, but we don't like to look at the size or shape of their back, but we like to look for something on top of their back. Jumbo warden. So these African elephants have very sensitive skin, and the last thing they want is to get a sunburn. So what they actually like to do is throw some sand and dirt onto their back to kind of add that really nice extra layer of protection.
So this has been Uncle Jimmy with Jimmy's Train Station and Travel Adventures. We're going to end the vlog there today. I'm going to turn off my camera now so I can enjoy the rest of the day. We're going to hand over to Pandora and ride those rides. My battery's getting low on my camera. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Give it a thumbs up. Feel free to leave comments, suggestions of other things you'd like to see. Hit the notification bell up in the right hand corner to let you know when I download a new video. Until then, subscribe to my channel, please, and go out there and have your own adventures and enjoy life. This has been Uncle Jimmy with Jimmy's Train Station and Travel Adventures. Till next time, goodbye.